Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Abdur Rahman. Today I am explaining the project report of EDC, in which we have to make an H bridge. The objective is to design an H bridge circuit using BGT controls and flyback diodes to make it move in both directions. It is used as an inverter. The conditions are to make a motor to move at 9 volts, and maximum it can draw 2 ampere current and operate continuously for 15 minutes. Components I am using in this project is PC187 817 IC, some resistors, connector, 2 pin push buttons, and 2 and double 2 transistor, DC motor 9 watts, and a battery of 9 watts, and 1 and 4007 diodes. And furthermore, I am explaining the transistor. Furthermore, I am moving towards the transistor, which is we are using the 2 and double 2 common NPN bipolar junction transistor, which is used for general purpose low power amplifying device, and it is used as an switch. And we use an autocoupler of PC817, includes an LED and photo transistor, which is connected jointly optically. The signal can be transmitted optically in the between of IP and OP side without any physical connection to microcontroller and the DC devices. With less voltage, it can be connected directly and easily. As we can see that PC817, one is it's an anode, and second is it is cathode, and third is emitter, and four is collector. And furthermore, we are using an DC motor, which is 9 watts, an electric motor of electrical machine, which converts an electrical energy into mechanical energy. The basic working principle is whenever a can carry conductor placed in magnetic field, it experiences a mechanical force. And we are using a 9 ampere battery also, and which can draw a current of 2 ampere across the DC motor of 9 watts, and DC motor of 9 watts. And which can furthermore, you can see that we are using an IC transistors and DC motor, which we can see that PC817 are used in quantity of 2, and transistor in quantity of 4, and using an DC 9 volt battery, 9 volts battery of in quantity of 1. And the some resistors and some diodes are using flyback diodes are used for the proper working of the PCB. And furthermore, moving towards the components which we are using and their price. And PCB plate which are used, which cost us 300, FECL which is for etching purpose 250, and components overall which is listed above is 430. And furthermore, we can move towards the theoretical background of H bridge. As it turns out that an H bridge is a super simple circuit, and circuit behind a simple H bridge is built a four switch that control the flow of current to the load. The H bridge shows that as the H bridge shows that there are 4 switches, and if we close the switch 1 and switch 4, then the current will move towards left to right and move the motor in clockwise direction. And if we close the switch 3 and switch 2, then the current will move towards right to left and move the motor anti-clockwise. H bridge is simply used for for change the direction of the current. And using a motor, we can use a motor instead of we can use anything instead of a motor in this. And or many places their H bridge is using in microcontrollers, in robotics, and many much more other things. And furthermore, we are moving towards the Proteus and schematic diagram of our project, in which we can see that we are using an autocoupler, transistors, and some flyback diodes and motor using a 9-volt battery, but it make the motor to move in two directions, and then furthermore moving towards the Proteus, and we can say the breadboard implementation on breadboard, in which we use two autocouplers, transistors, and some diodes and resistors and some wires to make the project working properly. And then the PCB using the same components, and we can using the same components, autocoupler, transistors, and the flyback diodes, some resistors and push buttons, which makes the motor in two directions. The connector help us to join the battery on it, and the second connector help us to join the motor, DC motor on it. So DC motor connect on the second connector, we connect the motor on it, and furthermore there is an test bench simulation, which makes the motor to clockwise direction, move in clockwise, and in negative it moves the motor to move in anti-clockwise direction, using the same components, and same components. On conclusion, I have to say that every work is not easy to do. There are some problems come, and in every step, when it is our first time, and I understand to give a little undertaking, give me a little difficult to make a PCB. At any sixth and seventh try, I attempt making a PCB on etching, and presently my project is working on breadboard after so much tries, but I am unable to run it on the circuit on PCB. However, my breadboard, after many attempts and troubleshooting, my breadboard works and move the motor in two directions, and PCB on my second attempt only works, and then furthermore component burnouts and anything help for this from my side. ओके अल्लाह। आज जो हमने ये पीसीबी पे एच ब्रिज बनाया है, जिसके अंदर हमने ऑप्टो कपलर, बीजेटीज, डायोड एंड रजिस्टर की मदद से एक एच ब्रिज बनाया है, जिसमें हम 9 वॉट्स इन करके 9 वोल्ट इन करके थ्रू बैटरी हम इससे अपनी मोटर को क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज रोटेट कर सकते हैं, जिसमें हमने एक ऑप्टो कपलर जिसकी वैल्यू PC817 है, और दो ऑप्टो कपलर इस्तेमाल किए हैं, और चार जो है हमने यहाँ पे बीजेटी ट्रांजिस्टर टू एंड डबल टू इस्तेमाल किए हैं। इसके अलावा ये हमारा पीसीबी है, इसमें आप देख सकते हैं पीछे इसकी जो सोल्डरिंग है, और हमारा पीसीबी लेआउट। और उसके बाद हमने इसे ब्रेडबोर्ड पे भी ब्रेडबोर्ड पे भी पेस्ट किया था, जबकि पीसीबी पे जो है हमारा प्रोजेक्ट नहीं चल रहा था। हालांकि इस पे हमारा प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है। इस पे हम आपको भी ये जो हमारी मोटर है, इसको हम क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज मूव करके दिखाएंगे। ये अभी जो है ये अभी जो है ये क्लॉकवाइज मूव कर रही है, और इसके बाद इसको हम अभी एंटी क्लॉकवाइज मूव कराएंगे। एंटी क्लॉकवाइज के लिए हमने इसके ऊपर दूसरा ये 2 बटन लगे हैं, यहाँ पे भी 2 स्विचेस लगे हुए हैं, प्रेस बटन, और 2 ऑप्टोकपलर और 4 ट्रांजिस्टर और 4 डायोड्स और कुछ रजिस्टर की मदद से हमने इसे चलाया। अब ये हम इसे अब आप इसे देख सकते हैं, ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज चल रही है, और इसकी एक शॉर्ट वीडियो हम दूसरी भी अपलोड करेंगे, जिसमें इसके आगे एक हम पेपर का पीस लगा के आपको दिखाएंगे कि ये क्लॉकवाइज और एंटी क्लॉकवाइज मूव करेगी। इसमें थोड़ा अच्छा सही तरह शो नहीं हो रहा, हालांकि इसे होना चाहिए। इसकी जो फर्दर प्रेजेंटेशन है, जो बाकी सारी रिपोर्ट की प्रेजेंटेशन है, वो मेरे ग्रुप मेंबर ज़ुएब लियाकत आपको डेमोस्ट्रेट करेंगे उनकी वीडियो प्रेजेंटेशन में। इसमें मैंने अब आपको इधर मैंने इसके आगे पेपर का पीस लगाया है, जिसमें आप इसे देख सकते हैं कि ये अभी जो है कौन सी डायरेक्शन, एक ये जो है अभी ये जो है ये अभी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है, और इसके बाद अभी ये एंटी क्लॉकवाइज में मूव करेगा। ये इसके बाद ये दूसरे डायरेक्शन में मूव करने लग गया है। तो इसके अलावा अभी हम एक मिनट, ये अभी दूसरे डायरेक्शन में मूव कर रहा है, और ये जो है इसके ये अभी जो है ये ये दूसरे डायरेक्शन मूव कर रहा है। बाकी जो है इसके फर्दर जो वो वाली इसकी रिपोर्ट की प्रेजेंटेशन है, वो मेरे ग्रुप मेंबर ज़ुएब लियाकत करेंगे। और दिस इज़ फ्रॉम माई साइड। अल्लाह हाफिज़।